द्वितीयं तु भवायास्य रसातलगतां महीम् उद्धरश्चिन्नुपादत्त यज्ञेशः सौकरं वपुः। द्वितीयं तु भवायास्य रसातलगतां महीम् उद्धरिष्यन्नुपादत्त यज्ञेशः सौकरं वपुः। Anyone would like to recite? One from Prabhuji side, one from Mataji side. द्वितीयं तु भवायास्य रसातलगतां महीम् उद्धरिष्यन्नुपादत्त यज्ञेशः सौकरं वपुः। Mataji, is anyone? Anyone? You know? Any? Yes, please go. द्वितीयं तु भवायास्य रसातलगतां महीम् उद्धरिष्यन्नुपादत्त यज्ञेशः सौकरं वपुः. Okay. Translation. The supreme enjoyer of all sacrifices accepted the incarnation of boar, okay, the second incarnation, and for the welfare of the earth, he lifted the earth from the nether regions of the universe. So the reason why I was saying that this particular verse is very nectarian is because today we will be learning about the pastime of the Varahadev, the Varaha avatar of Lord Vishnu. Okay, so I would have wanted to read the translation. Can anyone give the first canto Srimad Bhagvatam from here, please? Yes, so it's going to be a very, very interesting session today. Not much technical. Most of it will be, the pastimes of the Varahadev. Actually. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. So the purport, by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, the incarnation is that for each and every incarnation of the personality of Godhead, the particular function is executed is also mentioned. There cannot be any incarnation without a particular function, and such functions are always extraordinary. They are impossible for any living being to perform. The incarnation of the boar was to take the earth out of Pluto's region of filthy matter. Picking up something from a filthy place is done by a boar, and the all-powerful personality of Godhead displays this wonder to the asuras who had hidden the earth in such a filthy place. There is nothing impossible for the personality of Godhead, and although he played a part of the boar by the devotees he is worshipped, staying always in transcendence. Okay, so what Srila Prabhupada is saying here is that the incarnation, okay, of Lord Sri Krishna or Vishnu is always in transcendence. Actually, this will be one of the lessons that we'll learn, towards the end of the session today. We'll be looking at a couple of lessons that we can take away from this particular session. Okay, so here, what in the translation we saw that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer of all the sacrifices. Okay. Is it there? Gone. Not coming? Something is. Coming? No? Coming? Okay, so in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, please repeat after me, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. Can anyone tell me what is this particular shloka known as in the Bhagavad Gita? Yes, peace formula for the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because in this particular verse, it is clearly mentioned that Lord Sri Krishna is himself the supreme enjoyer of all the sacrifices, all the yagyas that we do, right? That means everything belongs to Sri Krishna. He is the Sarvalok Maheshwaram, not just material world, but also the spiritual world. He is the master of the spiritual world also, right? So once a spirit soul realizes this, that everything belongs to Krishna and my eternal constitutional position is to just be a humble and loving servant of Krishna and to use everything which has been provided by him to me in his service only, then that person will be very peaceful, right? He will not hanker for anything material and all the hankering will go away and that person will be very, very peaceful. So this is known as the peace formula. And here also in this particular verse, he is the Lord is being referred to as Yagyesha, I guess, right? So, okay, we'll see that. So, he's saying that in this particular verse, it is being said that the Lord will be taking the incarnation of a boar, right, to take out the earth from all the from the nether regions of the universe, basically, right? So. Now, before we proceed, just a quick recap, like we have been seeing this in the previous sessions also, right? The creation, basically, we learned, right, that how the Karanodakshai Vishnu first lays down in the causal ocean, then all the multiple universes are coming out from the pores of his body, right? And then in each and every single universe, the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he enters into each and every single universe, fills that universe half with water, lies down on that water on the serpent bed, then from his navel a lotus sprouts and on the lotus, who appears? Lord Brahma. He is the first living entity of the material world, right? Now, when Lord Brahma appeared, actually, we must have seen this, like when the Kartikeya Prabhu was taking this session, right? So, he found that, okay, everything is in complete darkness, okay, so Lord actually, who is present as Paramatma in each and everyone's heart, from within he gave him the knowledge and he heard 3 words, tap, tap, tap. That means start doing some meditation, okay. So once he started doing some meditation, he got some, all the knowledge which was required for the creation to happen, that was directly transferred from heart to heart, right. From the Paramatma, he just got all the knowledge actually, okay. So Lord Brahma, we will not going to get into so much of detail because this session is anyways going to be extended. Lord Brahma actually started the creation, and the first beings that he created were the 4 Kumaras. Okay, the 4 Kumaras who are Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. Okay, so these 4 Kumaras are known as the Manas Putra of Brahma. Right, because simply by meditation, Lord Brahma actually manifested these 4 children basically, okay. And when these 4 personalities appeared, so Lord Brahma actually expressed his desire to them that, okay, now that you have been created, please go participate in material activities, okay, populate this material universe with lot of living entities, okay. But these four Kumaras, actually they were very self-realized soul right from the beginning itself, right from the time of creation itself. Okay, and that has been described in Srimad Bhagvatam as in this particular shloka. Please repeat after me. Sanakam cha sanandam cha Sanatanam athatma bhu Sanat Kumaram cha munina Nishkriyam Uddharvaretasah. In the beginning, Brahma created the four sages named Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan and Sanat Kumar. All of them were unwilling to adopt materialistic activities because they were highly elevated due to their semens flowing in upward direction, basically. Okay, so see, when it comes to the Dhyana Yoga system, okay, or Ashtanga Yoga system, okay, so basically what the yogi does in that scenario, right? There are 8 stages, okay, so Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, then Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Okay, so these are the 8 stages of the Ashtanga Yoga system, and the yogi basically what it does is just tries to meditate, sits in one particular posture for a very long time, which is known as asana, and in that way he tries to meditate on the form of the Lord, basically either the Paramatma which is situated in the heart of each and every living entity, or on any form of Krishna or Vishnu. Okay, and it goes on for a very long time, and and it's like a proven thing, right, in our Vedic culture, that if a particular person sits say maybe hours and days continuously in one particular posture, and that practice is continued over a period of years, maybe decades also, right, then what happens, the semen actually that starts flowing in the upward direction. Okay, and when that happens, then that is the pinnacle of every Dhyana Yoga system. And that is the only reason why brahmacharya is actually laid so much stress upon these days. You must be seeing all the YouTube videos coming, and all those things are happening. So it's good that these knowledge are actually being imparted through the social media platform. But the crux of this whole thing is that anyone like who learns to control the flow of the semen, basically, okay, then that is the pinnacle of the Dhyana Yoga system, and that person should be considered as self-realized individuals. Okay, so these four Kumaras, they were self-realized right from the time of their appearance, actually. Okay, so why? Because their semen were already it was flowing in the upward direction. Okay, so they were Brahma Jyoti realized. Okay, that means they were already they had experienced the Brahma Jyoti form of the Lord, actually. Okay, so we know that Supreme Lord can be realized in 3 forms. What are they? Yes. Yeah, Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan, right? So Brahma Jyoti is the lowermost kind of realization, but these 4 Kumaras were there actually already. So they said to Lord Brahma that no, we are not going to participate in any such material activities. We know what to do, we know only to meditate. Okay, so in that way what did they do? And in order to prevent themselves from being forced to take up any material activities, what did they do? They cursed themselves that may we always remain 5 years old. Okay, so these guys, they will always look like 5-year-old kids, but by any chance if any one of you come across these 4 personalities, then please don't be fooled by their appearances. Okay, Jay Vijay tried to do that and we know what happened. I will see later. Okay, so anyways, so I just want all of you to remember this particular scene in your mind, that this is a serial chal raha hai, ek scene khatam ho gaya. Okay, the 4 Kumaras said that okay, we are not going to participate. Okay, this is one. So Brahma got very angry actually, and we all know that how Lord Rudra or Lord Shiva appeared, right? After, we are not going to go into those details, but then finally Lord Brahma, he created the first male and the first female, okay, of this material world, and the name of the male was Swayambhu Manu and the female was known as Shatarupa. Okay, so these 2 personalities were very obedient, okay, towards Lord Brahma, very respectful towards Lord Brahma. They said that okay, you are our father, you are our creator, so just tell me what to do, please instruct us, and we will be happily taking your instructions and we will be following them to the best of our capabilities. When Lord Brahma heard this, he became very, very happy. Okay, and he said that okay, so now if you really want to serve me, then I am very happy because this kind of attitude towards me. So he gave them his blessings, and then he said that okay, go and start the procreation. Okay, try to produce as many offsprings as possible, and please make sure that the offsprings should be as good as both of you, okay, in terms of quality and in terms of capability, basically. So this was happening. So actually, what happened after that? Manu asked Lord Brahma that, okay, fine, your instructions are very good. We will be happily doing that. But please tell us one thing, that where should we stay? At least give us a place to stay, right? And at that time, Lord Brahma realized that, okay, while this creation process was going on, so actually what happens? Can anyone tell me what is the duration of Lord Brahma's day? How is it calculated?
4.3 million. 4.3 million is
Yeah, 1 day or 12 hours?
12 hours.
12 hours, right? So same is the duration of the night also, correct? So this is, now this entire day of Lord Brahma is divided into what is known as Manvantars, okay? 14 Manvantars are there, and whenever a new Manu comes and takes the charge, then that particular time is known as a Manvantar, okay? So in one day of Brahma there are 14 Manus, and once the new Manu comes up, at that time a pralaya kind of happens, and all the lower planetary systems up to the Svargaloka, they get submerged in water, okay? So since this Manu had appeared, so pralaya was there, and all this conversation was going on between Brahma and this Swayambhu Manu. So Brahma didn't realize that the earth planetary system had already submerged and it had gone into the depths of the ocean, okay? So when Manu asked Lord Brahma that, okay, give us some place to reside, at that time Brahma realized that, okay, earth is gone, like it is submerged now, what to do, okay? So he was contemplating how can it be brought up. At that time what happened, that from nostril of Lord Brahma, one small boar appeared. You know what is boar? Jangli suwar, jise kehte hain, right? And it was so small, it was the size of half of your thumb, okay, at that time. And it came out of the nostril of Lord Brahma. As soon as it came out, it started expanding, and it acquired a huge form after that. So Lord Brahma and the Swayambhu Manu and all these personalities were initially very terrified, looking at that kind of form. But then soon Lord Brahma, out of again heart-to-heart conversation was going on between Paramatma and him, he realized that, okay, he is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He has just come out to help us actually. So Lord Brahma actually prayed to him that, okay, धरती चली गई है पानी में अभी, प्लीज बचाइए. You are the one who can bring it out, right? So Varahadev actually, he obliged and he just took a dive in that ocean, okay? So यहाँ पे second scene खत्म होता है. Just keep this in your mind, because going forward these things will come up, okay? So now remember, just give me a second. We spoke about 4 Kumaras, right? So we will talk about them. 4 Kumaras has told that we will not participate in any materialistic activities. We will go to do some meditation. Okay. So what happened, that they were all Brahman realized. We all know that. Okay. So somehow they came to know that there is one personality known as Lord Vishnu, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is very, very beautiful. Okay. So knowing this, they wanted to take darshan of the Lord, okay, and they straight away went to Vaikuntha. I don't know, from Narad Muni or someone, they might have got the GPS location that where is this Vaikuntha planet situated. They went there and they tried to enter, and on the door of the Vaikuntha planet, like there were 2 doorkeepers named Jay and Vijay, okay, and they stopped them actually. Why? Actually, they were not wrong in their position actually also. Why? Because no one is allowed to enter into any Vaikuntha planet with this material body. Okay. But these 4 Kumaras were having this material body. However, sometimes you need to take a call at runtime. Okay, that kisko rok rahe hain, kya kar rahe hain. Just that rules are not absolute. So these Jay and Vijay there, they made a mistake. They just saw that, okay, these kids are having material bodies, so they stopped him. Okay, they failed to realize that they were self-realized people. Okay, so self-realized souls can enter into Vaikuntha planets at their will. Okay, and we have seen that, right? Even say, what to speak of self-realized people? Someone like Durvasa Muni also. right? When he was being chased around by Sudarshan Chakra, what happened? He went to all the 14 planetary systems and ultimately went in the Shvetadvipa, right? To, just he fell on the feet of Lord Vishnu asking for forgiveness, right? That means a personality like Durvasa Muni can also enter into Vaikuntha planets. So these four Kumaras were, very advanced also. So they shouldn't have been ideally stopped, but the Jai Vijay, the doorkeepers, they actually stopped him. Okay, and they cursed Jai Vijay in that process. Okay, that how dare you stop us, and you call yourself the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, but just look at your pride and your ego, that you don't even know how to behave with the sages, and taking that and say that they said that you guys, you don't deserve to be in Vaikuntha planet, so may you fall down into the material world actually. Now these Jai Vijay were very bewildered by that particular curse. Okay, and all these things were going on when Lord Vishnu actually appeared. He came out of his palace and then just came to see कि क्या चल रहा है वहाँ, क्यों हल्ला हो रहा है ऐसा, right? So when Lord Vishnu was walking, and these four Kumaras, they looked at him, they were completely mesmerized. He was so beautiful that Mother Lakshmi was walking beside him, and Mother Lakshmi is supposed to be the epitome of beauty, right? And the beauty of Lord Vishnu was surpassing her beauty as well. Okay, and as he came towards the four Kumaras, the fragrance of his body was mixed with the fragrance of the tulsi leaves which were offered to his lotus feet, right? And that fragrance was so mesmerizing that just by inhaling that fragrance, at that very moment itself, the four Kumaras instantly became the pure devotees of Lord. Okay, and then Lord came out, and just look at the humility of the Lord. Okay, what he is saying, that since this Vaikuntha planet belongs to me, so any offense which is committed by the inhabitants of this planet, I am actually responsible for that. Okay, so I beg for your forgiveness, O four Kumaras, please forgive me. If you want anything that I can do, I am even ready to chop off one of my arms and offer it to you. Right? So this is, and just imagine, this is not some ordinary person talking to any ordinary person. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the creator of all the material and spiritual worlds. Right? Now, if he is showing so much of humility, so don't you think that we should also inculcate at least some humility? Our ego is so big that even this entire universe is small to accommodate that, right? So this is the sweetness of Lord Vishnu or Lord Sri Krishna, right? And but actually, even when these things were going on, Lord Vishnu never disapproved of the curse which these four Kumaras had given to Jai and Vijay. Although he understood that Jai and Vijay were not entirely at fault, and at the same time he had full capability and potency to nullify that curse, but still he did not disapprove of that. Why? Two reasons are given. Okay, one is the obvious reason which is given in the Srimad Bhagvatam, which we will be reading. There is also another hidden reason which I will be trying to explain, which I will try to explain according to the the Guru Parampara of ISKCON. Our Acharyas have given that reason. Okay, so one reason what Lord is giving is that first reason. On the other hand, they captivate my heart who are gladdened in the heart, and who their lotus faces enlightened by nectarian smiles respect the Brahmanas, even though Brahmanas utter harsh words. They look upon Brahmanas as my own self and pacify them by praising them in the loving words, even as a son would appease an angry father, or as I am pacifying you. Right? So we all know that Lord Krishna is fond of two things. What? One is the Brahmanas, second, cows. Right? So whatever the Brahmanas say, generally, Lord actually approves of that. He doesn't disapprove of that. And this was one of the reasons why Lord was actually, was not disapproving of that particular curse. Okay. Another reason is the hidden reason. Okay, which our acharyas say that all the desires that we have in our hearts, okay, whether to live an opulent life, whether to enjoy in certain way, okay, or anything, any desire that we have to eat something nice or to sleep nicely, whatever, it is all coming from Supreme Lord Himself, right? Because all the desires, we are part and parcels of Krishna, so we are also having the same desires, right? So sometimes, we all know that Lord Sri Krishna or Vishnu, like he is associating with his devotees in 5 rasas. Can anyone name what are those 5 rasas? Shant Rasa, Dasya Rasa, Sakhya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, yes, and Madhurya Ras. Okay, so there is one another rasa also, which sometimes God, Supreme Lord has this desire, that is also known as the Veer Ras. Okay, or the desire to fight. Okay, so that is also कि ठीक है पढ़े पढ़े काफ़ी बोर हो गए, थोड़ा एक्सरसाइज होना चाहिए, right? So that kind of thing. So that desire is also there. Okay, and so this kind of desire comes up. Again went away. Came up? So, when it comes to desire to fight, actually, if you read the Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, so you will find that Lord Sri Krishna is very fond of wrestling. Okay, he actually very elaborately, it has been explained there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that he is very fond of wrestling and he keeps on wrestling with his friends, cowherd boys, basically on the banks of river Yamuna. And so much so that and those boys are also they also keep teasing him, and Krishna actually enjoys that kind of interaction. So there is one personality known as Subal, right, and he is supposedly very, very strong, almost as strong as Lord Balram, right. And when Krishna challenges him for the wrestling match, he just replies that, how dare you challenge me, Krishna? Deep down your heart you know that I can defeat you just like that. Okay, so this kind of interactions, it goes on. But and just to commemorate like this particular pastime, that Krishna likes to wrestle with all his cowherd friends and everyone. So whenever we go to the yatra, especially in Vrindavan, right? In Vrindavan there is a place known as Raman Reti. Okay, please visit if any one of you happen to visit Vrindavan. The speciality of that place is that the sand particles of that place is very soft. Just like velvet. It will not even feel that you are walking on sand actually. Okay. So whenever we go to Raman Reti, what we do is that all the brahmacharis and grihasthas, they just try to do some play wrestling over there, and that is a picture which I have put in here. Okay, just to show. So you see all the brahmacharis are just rolling on the sand. The personality here that you see, His Grace Achyuta Prabhuji, and he is trying to climb on top of some another brahmachari over here. 2 minutes of silence for that brahmachari. Okay, so this is basically what Lord Sri Krishna, like he's very fond of fighting also, wrestling also. But sometimes Lord feels that okay, ठीक है, खेल खेल में कुश्ती बहुत लड़ लिया. Now I want one level up. MMA करने का मन है अभी, right? So what happens in that scenario? So now a question for all of you. Says, for example, if you all get a desire to fight, what is the first thing that you need to have?
Someone who can fight with.
Yes, Prabhuji answered correctly. No, not no. At least you need someone, an opponent to fight with, right? वो opponent ही नहीं रहेगा तो fight कहाँ से होगी, right? Correct. So this is the problem with Lord Sri Krishna. Okay. Now when he goes and expresses his desire, now see what happens that we are completely fallen. Okay, material world में तो chance ही नहीं है कि anyone can. Lord Sri Krishna is known as Asama Urdhava, right? That is, no one is equal to him, no one is above him. So in material world there is no option at all. Okay, like we cannot even stand, in front of him. Okay, the only people who are serving with their full heart and soul, okay, are the people in the spiritual world, either in Vaikuntha planets or in Golok Vrindavan. Okay. But the problem there is that they are so much, submissive to Krishna. They have completely surrendered unto Krishna, and especially in the Vaikuntha planet where the presiding deity is Lord Narayan, right? People actually worship him with awe and reverence. Okay, now if suppose understand that if Narayan goes and expresses his desire that come and fight with me, what will be the expression of the devotees there, right? Why are you putting me in such a difficult situation, Prabhu? This is what they will say, right? That forget about Vaikuntha, like even in say Ram Leela, Lord Ramchandra actually forget about fighting. He wanted to make friends like Lord Sri Krishna. He wanted to have that loving interaction with the friends like Sugriva or Vibhishan and all the personalities who were there. And he just wanted to hug them and have the very friendly conversations with them. But just look at the aura of Lord Ramchandra was such that whenever he went to hug the person, he would just slip down and just get hold of his lotus feet. Right? That was the situation. So now when Lord expresses his desire to fight, tell me who will accept that challenge? No one will be willing to fight with him, right? So this was all the plan of Lord कि ठीक है अभी दानव बना के भेजते हैं तभी लड़ेगा. Then I'll be satisfied after that. Okay. So this is one of the hidden reasons that he had the desire to fight. So he had planned all this, and he used the 4 Kumaras as a tool, right, to carry out this pastime. Okay. So when the 4 Kumaras were cursed, what happened? That instantly what happened? They fell down on this material world, and then they were planted in the womb of Diti, okay, through the semen of Kashyap Muni. Okay, so this is another story which I would like to narrate. Okay, and yes, in the womb of Diti. Okay, so can anyone tell me who is Diti? Any idea? So Diti was the daughter of Daksha Prajapati, okay, sister of Sati Devi, Mother Sati, who was the wife of Lord Shiva. Correct. So she is the sister of Sati and sister-in-law of Lord Shiva. Okay, and she was married to Kashyap Muni. Okay. So now what happened, that this Jaya and Vijay, they had to take birth, okay, as demons in the material world. Okay, and Lord convinced them that, okay, abhi ke liye jao, you will not be spending much time in the material world, I will bring you, okay, bring you back very quickly, you will return after 3 births. Okay, so 3 lifetimes is not a very long time when we talk about universal time scale. Okay, so 3 times they will take birth in this material world and they will come back. So this is what was the assurance that was given by Lord Vishnu to Jaya and Vijay. Okay, so they had to take birth now. Okay, now what happened, that as soon as this happened, now Diti, he actually the Cupid or the Kamdev actually, okay, he shot an arrow on Diti and she was totally consumed by lusty desires and she wanted to have children at that instant itself. And it was an evening time, and so she went near to her husband, expressed her desire, and she said that I am not able to control this desire, please help me out. Okay. Now Kashyap Muni was a very learned sage. Okay, he understood that this time, basically the evening time or the night time, these are not very good times for having any kind of intercourse, basically. Okay. It's an inauspicious time, and he also cited the reason. Okay, please read after me. Okay, repeat after me. Esha ghor tamavela ghoranam ghor darshana charanti yasyam bhutani bhuteshanu charaniha. This particular time is most inauspicious because at this time the horrible looking ghosts and constant companions of the Lord of Ghosts are visible. Who is the Lord of Ghosts? Lord Shiva. Yes. So evening time is basically time of Lord Shiva and his Ganas. Okay. So at that time any kind of intercourse is actually forbidden according to our Shastras. Just look at our fallen condition. In this age of Kali Yuga, all such activities happen either during evening or night time. Okay, do we even are in a situation where we can request Lord Sri Krishna to take us back home? We are not, we are so fallen, right? Everything that we are doing is against the Shastras today. Okay, so when Diti approached Kashyap Muni, he just told that this time is very inauspicious, it is evening time, it is time for my Sandhya Arti, my evening worship time. So let's not do it right now, you will be begetting children in due course of time. Okay, but Diti was, as I said, she was totally consumed by the lusty desires. She was not ready to wait at all. Okay, and this lust actually in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord has explained that this is our biggest enemy. Okay, please repeat after me. Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyenam Iha Varinam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, this is from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 3, verse number 37. Okay, It is lust only, Arjun, which is born of contact with material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, that means later transformed into anger, and which is the all devouring sinful enemy of this world. So, whatever bad things that we are doing here is only because of lust. Lust doesn't not only means a physical attraction with the opposite gender, no. It also means that anything that we want to enjoy which is not ours. So everything belongs to Krishna, but we want to enjoy everything. Name, fame, opulence, everything we want to enjoy, we are lusty, right? That is the root cause of all the problems, okay? So, Diti was also consumed by this lusty desire, and she was not ready to take the suggestion of Kashyap Muni, and she strongly recommended that no, let's have an intercourse right now, okay? So in spite of the warning, Kashyap Muni agreed that okay, so he begged forgiveness for with all the demigods, Lord Shiva and everyone, and they had that intercourse. But after that, Diti realized her mistake, and then she went to Kashyap Muni asking for forgiveness, okay? That at that time I couldn't realize, but now I am very, very scared that Lord Shiva may kill my sons actually. So please protect my sons. Okay. So this is what she was asking. Okay. And Kashyap Muni had a prediction at that time. Okay. That since we have conceived at a very inauspicious time, so obviously the sons will also be demoniac in nature. Okay. And Abhadra sons, that's what Kashyap Muni was saying, and he said that they will cause lamentation in all the three worlds. Okay, please repeat after me. Praninam hanyamananam dinanam kritam gasam strinam nigrihyamananam kopitershu mahatmasu. So what will they do? They will kill the poor, faultless living entities, torture women, and enrage the great souls. Okay? So this is actually the nature of all the demoniac people. Okay? If you see the Bhagavad Gita, like in the Bhagavad Gita also, the demoniac, divine and demoniac, chapter number 16 actually, Lord Sri Krishna tells what are the symptoms of a demoniac person. Okay? You can repeat after me. Ishvaroham aham bhogi. सिद्धोहम बलवान सुखी आढ्योभिजनवानस्मि कोवन्यो अस्ति सदृशो मया. That means I am the Lord of everything. This is how a demoniac person thinks. Okay, I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy than I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and I shall thus rejoice. So anyone who is having this kind of mentality is considered to be a demon, and most of the demons are having this mentality. And Kashyap Muni predicted that the sons of Diti will also be of the same mindset. They will kill the innocent people, they will torture women, and in that process they will enrage all the self-learned souls basically. Okay. So Diti was very, very scared. Now she didn't want their sons to be killed either by Lord Shiva or by any sage who is enraged by their activities. Okay, why? Because if that happened, it was sure that they will go to hell. Okay, so she prayed a lot to Kashyap Muni, and at that time Kashyap Muni made one another prediction. Okay, please repeat after me. Tada Vishveshwara Kruddho Bhagva Loka Bhavanaha Hanishyatya Vitiryaso Yada Yathadrina Shataparvadhrik. That means he is making a prediction that at that time the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, will descend and kill them just as Indra smashes the mountains with the thunderbolt. So upon hearing this particular prediction, Diti felt little bit relieved. कि चलो मरेगा भी तो भगवान के हाथ से मरेगा, not by any other person. Okay. So because what happens that when someone is killed by Supreme Lord, okay, forget about being killed by Supreme Lord. Even if someone comes in contact with the body of the Supreme Lord, forget about coming in contact with the body of the Supreme Lord. If someone comes in contact with the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, okay, that person is immediately liberated. Okay, that is exactly what happened to demons like Kansa and other who were killed by Lord himself. Why? Because they were also continuously either though in enmity, but they were chanting the names of Lord Sri Krishna, continuously thinking about Krishna. Okay, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So when they got killed, they were ultimately liberated and attained the Brahma Jyoti. Okay, Brahma Jyoti effulgence of the Lord. So this made Diti a little bit, relaxed, and she was not very, upset after that. Okay. Now, but she was also very, very afraid. Okay, that my sons are going to cause so much havoc in not only in just Earth planetary system, but in all the three worlds, basically, right? So let me not, give birth to them at all. Okay, this was the mindset of Diti. Now, question to the Matajis. Okay, a normal pregnancy, what is the duration of the normal pregnancy? 9 months, right? Can you imagine what was the duration of Diti's pregnancy? थोड़ा और आगे जाइए माता जी. 100 years. For 100 years, she was not giving birth to these sons, thinking that they will cause havoc in all the three planetary systems. I am not going to give birth to them. But by providence, it had to happen. So after 100 years, prakat हुए दोनों. See, one good thing about asuras, I like, they are very, very hasmukh actually. गायब होते हैं तो हंस रहे हैं, प्रकट होते हैं तो हंस रहे हैं. Self confidence झलकता है. Okay, so these were twin sons actually. Okay, one was Hiranyaksh and other was Hiranyakashipu. Okay, Hiranyakashipu was the first one to be conceived, and so he was considered elder. Now here is a catch. Okay, in the material world, basically, when the twins are born, who is considered elder? The one who comes out first, right? That is considered elder, and the other one is. But here in our Vedic literature, it is said that one who is conceived first should be considered as the elder. So although Hiranyaksh came out first, but he was the younger brother of Hiranyakashipu. Okay, and when they came out, there were complete inauspicious signs all around. Okay, what were those signs? Earthquakes were there, volcanic eruptions, fire all around. Okay, it was raining rocks and blood, and all inauspicious things were raining all around. With the storms which were uprooting gigantic trees, thick clouds covered covered all the heavenly bodies. Inauspicious planets like Saturn and Mars, they came up with along with the comets. Comets in the Vedic Vedic literatures are considered very inauspicious. If you happen to see one. Okay, high waves on the oceans. ऐसे और भी हैं. You can read the third canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. Very elaborately it is explained, but some main ones I have just listed it down here. So the point which I am trying to make is that when these two twin brothers they appeared, they actually all the inauspicious signs they carried along with themselves. Okay, they were all visible. All the inauspicious signs were visible. Okay, and obviously at that time all the demigods they became very afraid and they took shelter of Lord Brahma. They just vacated the Swargloka. They took shelter of Lord Brahma and said कि कुछ कीजिए, right? Something has to be done. So description of these demons. Now अब हीरो अगर बहुत अच्छा है तो विलन भी उसी टक्कर के होना चाहिए ना, राइट? सो वी वांट टू शो दैट ओके पहले ये लोग कैसे थे. पहले अमरीश पुरी आता था तो डर लगता था देख करके, राइट? मूवीज में. सो सेम लाइक दिस. सो दीज गाइज हैड स्टील फ्रेम्स. Okay, the bodies were like steel. Who is man of steel in the material world? Superman. Superman is also known as man of steel. But when you read such comics, just go and tell them, क्या यार बकवास कर रहे हो? 5000 साल पहले we had men of steel. See, Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, correct? So they're strong like steel frames they had, and their size was like mountains. Okay. And it is given in Srimad Bhagvatam that their bodies became so tall that it seemed to kiss the sky with the crests of their golden crowns. They blocked the view of all directions while walking. They shook the earth at every step. जुरासिक पार्क में जब डायनासोर आ रहा था तब थोड़ा सा कंपन होता था, right? Here when they walk, that kind of कंपन used to be there anytime. Okay. Their arms were adorned with brilliant bracelets, and they stood as if covering the sun with their waists, and which were bound with excellent and beautiful girdles. Okay, so obviously they were very huge, very strong, and also very, very opulent. Okay, and these two brothers, what did they do? They started worshipping Lord Brahma. They performed very severe austerities, and Lord Brahma was very satisfied with their penance. He appeared in front of them and he gave them the benedictions. Okay. About हिरण्यकश्यप we know what kind of benediction he asked for, है ना. वो if else का बहुत complex logic था वहाँ पे, ठीक है. If this then that and all those things. Tried to be almost what to say, invincible. And Hiranyaksh also got something similar, similar benedictions he got, and then they became completely fearless, and then they started troubling all the living entities. Okay. So we will not talk about Hiranyakashipu. We have spoken about him a lot, and there is an elaborate description in the 8th canto of Bhagavatam. We will be speaking about Hiranyaksh because we are talking about the Varaha avatar. Okay. Now this particular guy, see, all of us are born with a default configuration. Okay, we have certain likes, certain dislikes. Okay, and this kind of likes and dislikes which we have within ourselves, it is very, very unique to each individual, right? You will hardly find any individual who is completely similar to you, correct? And so much so that even if we find some similarity in any other person, we try to be friends with that person. Okay, and when our likes and dislikes are very different from someone else, then generally we don't get along, like that. So the default configuration of this Hiranyaksh was that he wanted to fight. His only purpose or his only aim of life was to travel all along the universe, all through the 14 planetary systems, looking for a good enough opponent to fight with. Okay, so this was his default configuration. So in that mood, what did he do? He went to the Swargloka to challenge the demigods. कि देखते हैं कौन लड़ सकता है मेरे से. When he went to the Swargloka, as I said, it was already vacated because they had already taken shelter of the Lord Brahma, right? So he was very happy. Ego boost हुआ वहाँ पे थोड़ा. Now, okay, another thing which I would like to touch upon is that see, the rules of the warfare in the Vedic culture, in the Vedic times, was very different from today. Okay, when war happens and say one country ends up on the losing side, okay, or a group of people end up on the losing side, the people who are on the winning side, they actually do carry out lot of atrocities on the general public, basically the civilians, especially women and children. Okay, they are treated very badly. Okay, but this was not the case in the Vedic times. In the Vedic times, what happened that okay, one king will fight with another. The king who is defeated will not be killed, nor his kingdom will be taken away. He will simply report to the king from whom he had lost the battle. Okay, that means I defeat you, now you report to me. That's it. You remain king, you remain, the subjects will remain, your kingdom will remain, everything will remain, but you will be simply reporting to me. That means my kingdom is in a way expanding, right? So this is what Hiranyaksh was also doing. He went to the Swargloka, no one was there. Okay, Swargloka uska ho gaya. ठीक है. Now he came down here again on the Earth planetary system. What did he find? कि कौन है? Then he was looking. He found okay, Himalaya is there. He is very big and strong. He is looking like ठीक है, टक्कर का opponent अभी लग रहा है अपने को. So went there and challenged him. So Himalaya said that okay, look, I am already an old personality now. Okay, and besides I have lot of other jivatmas who are dependent upon me. I have to take care of them. So I am not the right opponent for you. Okay, why don't you take a dive in the ocean? Maybe some aquatic personality will be there who will be the right person with whom you can fight with, right? So Hiranyak said, हाँ ये ठीक सही आइडिया है, सही है, ठीक है अभी जाता हूँ, but I won, हाँ, okay, हाँ ठीक है जीत गया, जा kind of करके उसे भेज दिया, right? So परेशान हो गए थे लोग उससे बिल्कुल. So he took a dive in the ocean then, okay, and then he was searching for someone to fight with. Finally, he ended up at Lord Varuna's place. Okay, you know who is Varun? Varun is Lord of the seas, basically, right? Lord of aquatics and seas. So he went to Varun and he saw his opulence. So he started making fun of him. What did he do? He just went up to Varun, got hold of his feet, and he said in a joking way, "Give me battle, oh my lord." Like that. He was just trying to mock Varun Dev. Okay. So Lord Varun actually, he said that okay, I am again not the right personality. I know the exact person who will be the apt opponent for you. Okay, and he said these verses. Okay, please repeat after me, or rather, just try to repeat. It's a tongue twister a little bit. Okay. Pashyami nanyam purushat puratanat yas. यह संयुगे त्वाम रण मार्ग कोविदम आराधयिष्यत्य असुरर्षभेहितम् मनस्विनोऽयं गृणते भवादृशा. So you are so skilled in fighting that I do not see anyone else but the most ancient person, Lord Vishnu, who can give satisfaction in fight to you. So he said that भाई तुम्हारा skill अलग level पे है, हम लोग कहाँ बच्चे हैं तुम्हारे सामने. So I know the right person with whom you can fight, and he is Lord Vishnu. Okay, therefore, O chief of Asuras, approach him, and approach him whom even heroes like you mention in praise. So he glorified Lord Vishnu, and then after hearing about Lord Vishnu, this Hiranyaksh became very, very angry. Okay, that who is this fellow? Abhi tak to he was getting a walkover literally, right, from all the opponents. So first time he heard about someone who was at his equal level, so he became very, very angry, and he wanted to fight, desperately wanted to fight him. Okay, again through Narad Muni he got the GPS location, that where is this Vishnu. So Narad Muni told him that he is in the form of a boar, in the form of Varahadev, he is in the depths of the ocean, और वो GPS latitude longitude बता दिया कि इधर मिलेंगे अभी आपको जाओ. ठीक है. So Hiranyaksh goes there and he finds Varahadev there. Okay, so he starts challenging him immediately. Okay, and he also lays claim on the earth planetary system. Now remember, I said that okay, this scene is over, Lord Varahadev had jumped into the ocean. Why did he jump into the ocean? To save the earth planet. He tried to bring so what he was doing, he was just carrying that earth planets on his tusk. The boar has two tusks here, and you might have seen the picture, right? So now what happened, that he was carrying the earth planet, and then this Hiranyak started challenging him that these lower planetary systems and the earth planet were meant for us to rule, right? What are you doing with it? Just give it to me. Okay, so and in this way, and come and fight with me. He started challenging, and in the process of that, challenging Lord Varahadev, he also heard very abusive words to Lord Varahadev. Okay, and it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagvatam that Lord was very pained by those abusive words. Okay, but still, like, he ignored that, and he thought that okay, this is not, I am not in the right position to fight, because this earth planet is actually resting on my tusk. So अभी इसको ऐसे रख के कैसे लड़ूंगा मैं, right? So let me do one thing. Let me go to the surface of this ocean, set this earth planet afloat on that ocean, and then I can come back and fight. So keeping these thoughts in mind, he actually went for the surface of the ocean. He started moving upwards towards the surface of the ocean. Now Hiranyaksh, when he saw that, he thought that okay, he is running away, scared of me. So he started chasing and taunting and again hurling abusive words, and saying that okay, where are you running? Okay, aren't you ashamed? You are ashamed from someone who is challenging you for a fight. So come back and fight with me. All these things. But Varahadev just kept his calm. Okay, although he was hurt by all the abusive words, but he just kept his calm. He came up finally on the surface. He kept the earth planet, set it afloat there. Okay, and then he turned back. Okay, and he challenged back Hiranyaksh. Okay, don't waste your time and mind with your stupid talks. If you really want to please your relatives, then come and kill me. Okay, so when Hiranyaksh heard this, he became so angry for the first time, like he had actually heard the glorification of Lord Vishnu from Varun Dev. Okay, that okay, here is one opponent, he is not going to give me walkover. Okay, second, now he is challenging him back, right? ऐसा पहली बार हुआ था that someone was actually challenging him back. So he became very angry, so angry that he started shaking in anger. Okay, and he immediately pounced on Varahadev. Okay, with they had this mace gada in the hand, and he pounced with that mace, and he tried to hit Varahadev, okay, with the mace. But Varahadev very skillfully countered that attack, and he also counter-attacked Hiranyaksh on the eyebrow. Okay, but Hiranyaksh was also very skilled, so he also countered that particular attack which Varahadev made on him. Okay, and in this way they kept attacking each other with the mace, and the fight continued for a very, very long time. Okay, and they both exhibited anger and kept attacking each other with their respective maces. Sometimes the mace even used to strike each other, and all the blood was coming out, and when they saw each other's blood, they got even more excited and enraged, and they just wanted desperately to win. Okay, and this fight went on, continued like this. Okay, so please try to repeat after me. The description of this battle is given here in this particular verse. Okay, Tayo spridhosa tigma gada hatangayoho शतास्त्रवघ्राण विवृद्ध मान्वयोः विचित्र मार्गार्ष चरतोर्ष जीर्षया व्याभिदलयामिव शुष्मिनोर्मृधः. So the translation goes like this: there was keen rivalry between the two combatants. Both had sustained injuries on their bodies from blows to each other's pointed maces, and each grew more and more enraged at the smell of the blood on his person. In their eagerness to win, they performed maneuvers of various kinds, and their contest looked like an encounter between two forceful bulls for the sake of a cow. Okay, so this is what the description. So very fierce fight was going on, and it was going on for a very, very long time. Okay, and see, Hiranyaksh was also, his only agenda was to fight. Okay, and he was getting that kind of a fight. The reason for Lord's incarnation as Varahadev, the hidden reason was that he had a desire to fight. So they both were getting, what they desired, and they were relishing very nicely. So this went on for a very, very long time. They're not stopping at all. Okay, so what happened that Lord Brahma, along with all the demigods, they were also witnessing this battle. Okay, it was going on for a very long time, and when this fight was not ending, at that time Lord Brahma got a little concerned. Okay, and then what did he do? He actually approached Varahadev, and he told him about Hiranyaksh. ठीक है, and he said that okay, प्रभु ये ऐसा ही है, अभी इसको इग्नोर करो आप. ठीक है, his only agenda is that he wants to fight. So now you are fighting with him, you are actually giving him pleasure. Okay, तो ये ऐसे लड़ता रहेगा पता नहीं कब तक और ऐसे चलता रहेगा. So please do not waste any time behind him. Okay, you just kill him as soon as possible. And he also told him about very important thing, that this particular demon Hiranyaksh was supposed to be killed in a very auspicious muhurt, which is known as the Abhijit muhurt. Okay, and that Abhijit muhurt was at that point when Brahma was talking to Varahadev. Okay, and he said that Abhijit muhurt is already here, and actually it has lapsed. We are towards the end of the Abhijit muhurt right now, so please do not waste any time and kill him. If we fail to kill this demon in this muhurta, then what will happen? Entire darkness will prevail. These two brothers will wreak havoc in the entire universe. Okay, so he just prayed very humbly that please do not waste any time and kill him as soon as possible. Okay, so Lord Varahadev actually looked at him, he smiled, and very lovingly he accepted his request. And once he did that, he aimed his mace at the chin of the demon, and then he struck with that mace. Now the demon was also very skilled, right? So he defended that attack again, and when he defended, the mace of the Lord Varahadev, actually he slipped off it slipped off its hand and it fell down actually. Okay, seeing that, the demigods became even more concerned that अभी ये क्या हो गया यार, मतलब ये तो भगवान के हाथ से गदा छूट गई, right? So it became they became very, very serious, and they started shouting in panic actually. Now just look at Hiranyaksh, and this the rules of the combat at that time was such that if two people were fighting with a weapon in their hand, okay, and if the weapon slips off the hands of one opponent, then the other one will not strike. Okay, that you cannot strike a weaponless person. Basically, this was the rule at that time. And Hiranyaksh had this wonderful opportunity that the mace had slipped off the hands of Varahadev. Varahadev was weaponless at that time. He could have easily struck him at that time. But even after being a demon, he actually followed the rules of the combat, and he asked Varahadev that okay, pick up your weapon. Okay, I am still waiting. When Varahadev saw, he became very angry and immediately summoned Sudarshan Chakra, right? And when Sudarshan Chakra came, obviously Lord presented himself in the four-handed Narayana form. Okay, when Hiranyaksh saw this four-handed Narayana form of Vishnu, he became even more angry. Okay, and then he again attacked Lord Vishnu. Okay, with his mace. But this time Lord blocked his attack with his feet. He just kicked that mace, and this time the mace fell from the hand of Hiranyaksh. And now Varahadev was saying, "Chalo, utha, utha." I am waiting. Right? So again, this guy came. He went there. He picked up the mace, and then this time he threw the mace towards the Lord. Okay, very easily Lord caught it in the mid-air. है ना, जैसे ball catch करते हैं ना, वैसे he just caught the mace. Okay, and then he again offered it, लो try करो फिर से. So this time he felt very humiliated. Okay, Hiranyaksh felt very humiliated. So he didn't take that mace this time. He actually summoned his own trident, Trishul laya ho, ठीक है, and he threw the trident towards Lord. Okay, Lord fired Sudarshan Chakra from this side and broke the trident also. Now then what happened? That this guy, he actually started punching the Lord. Okay, but Lord didn't feel anything. The punches, those attacks, he felt that, okay, someone was hitting him with flowers. Okay, so just imagine that kind of impact he was feeling. Okay, so when he saw that, Hiranyaksh, when he saw that, okay, his efforts are going in vain, so he resorted to Mayavi Shakti, as usual the demons do, right? They start laughing again. So मार के गायब हो गया and then started laughing, and just he again summoned all the inauspicious signs again. Okay, that fierce dark clouds. Okay, some demonesses appeared, carrying tridents, and they were crying very fiercely. Okay, stormy winds, again raining rocks, blood, thunderbolt. All these things started happening. Okay, all the illusory energy was at play at that time. So Sudarshan Chakra again Lord summoned, and Sudarshan Chakra is supposed to dispel all the illusion. Okay, so as soon as Sudarshan Chakra came, all these illusory energies of the demon were also gone. Okay, so now he was left with nothing. Okay, so then he attacked with his bare hands. Okay, he came and he just tried to bear hug the Lord. Okay, now what is a bear hug? You try to get hold of your opponent and crush, in that hug, basically, right? Something what Dhritarashtra tried to do, when, yeah, exactly. Correct. So, but now just imagine, can you bind the Lord? Lord is always infinite, right? And we have seen in the previous also, Damodar Leela also, when Mother Yashoda was trying, the rope fell 1 or 2 inches short. Even when he went as the peacemaker to Hastinapur, right, as a doot from the Pandava side, Duryodhan tried to bind him. Okay, was he able to do that? No, right? So similarly, when Hiranyaksh tried to bear hug the Lord, he was not able to put his arms around the Lord. Okay, not able to lock his arms actually. So, and he tried very hard. Okay, so it was ultimately in vain. So now Lord thought that, okay, ठीक है, Abhijit Muhurt is about to lapse now. I should put an end to all this. अभी काफी लड़ लिए. I am happy. I am satisfied. This was my desire, and this fellow has also given me lot of pleasure. So now let me finish this off. So what did he do? He gave one nice tight slap on the root of the, तो कहते हैं ना मुंबईया भाषा में कान के नीचे बजाना. Literally he did that. यूपी के भाषा में क्या बोलते हैं? कंटाप, right? Nice कंटाप. With that slap, what happened? This demon actually, he started rolling like a cartwheel. Okay, and then broke his hands and legs. His eyeballs came out, and he just fell dead. तो इतना नाटक हुआ, and at the end just एक थप्पड़ से काम हो गया. So when this happened, all the demigods, they were very, very pleased. They started showering flowers, and they offered wonderful prayers on the lotus feet of Lord Varahadev. Lord Varahadev, what did he do? After accepting those prayers, he just picked up the Prithvi, placed it in its orbit back, and then went back to Vaikuntha, right? So this is the story of Varahadev. There are 2 very important lessons that we can learn, we can take away from this story, okay? And they both come in the Bhagavad Gita, okay? Please repeat after me. One is chapter number 9, verse number 11. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam jananti mam. Sorry. Param bhavam jananti mam bhutam maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. Okay, so that when Lord Sri Krishna comes, please understand that he is not an ordinary human, although he may appear to be human-like. His activities may be human-like. Okay, this is exactly what the mistake which Duryodhan did. That in spite of showing all his capabilities, Duryodhan always considered him to be an ordinary human being. Okay, why? Because he looked like that, he acted like that. Okay, so people with poor fund of knowledge, people who are fools actually, they think Lord Sri Krishna to be an ordinary person. Okay. Similarly, when this cart demon, Shatakasura, right, when he was actually killed, Krishna was just a few weeks old at that time, right? At no point in time we should think that he's just a baby, he's an infant, what can he do, right? When he was killing Bakasur, he was very young, he was just a kid at that time, right? We should not think that, okay, he's just a kid, right? Lot of people, they question the Ras Leela of Lord Sri Krishna, that what kind of personality he was. He was a womanizer, that's what they say, right? But they don't understand that all these activities are transcendental in nature. Okay, Lord Sri Krishna is not an ordinary human being, and only fools, like people those who have poor fund of knowledge, they consider him to be an ordinary human being. This is the lesson number 1. So do not be a fool, always be in cognizance with who exactly Lord Sri Krishna is. Okay, this is the first and very foremost, very important lesson we have to learn. Second, okay, so at no point in time Krishna should be considered as an ordinary person. Second lesson, his different incarnations. Okay, please read after me. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyakatva deham punarjanma neti mameti sorjuna. One who understands the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Okay, very, very important. The moment we understand the transcendental nature of Lord Sri Krishna, who Lord Sri Krishna is, okay, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, that his appearance and all the pastimes that he is carrying out, they are all Divya, they are all transcendental, they are beyond this material realm, okay. He might appear as a fish in the Matsya avatar, right? But he is not exactly a fish. Okay, please do not consider him to be a fish. He appeared as a boar in Varaha avatar, but he was not exactly a boar. All his activities were transcendental, right? We just saw that in one slap he just finished off Hiranyaksh, right? Similarly, when he, uprooted the tamala trees, while performing the Damodar Leela, right? He was not a small kid at that time. And when he is performing Ras Leela with all the gopis, he is not an ordinary young man, okay, which people consider him to be, okay. If we always remember that all the pastimes, the appearance of Lord Sri Krishna is transcendental, that is more than enough to make us qualified to go back home, back to Godhead, okay. This is a very important lesson that we have to learn always, and this can be done, how? By two things, reading the Bhagavad Gita and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So I would like to pause here. Okay. At no point in time you should consider Krishna as an ordinary human being. Any questions, any realizations? I will be happy to take that. Yes, ma'am.
You said when both Kumaras were born, they were not ordinary persons. They were in that great when you said when they went to that Vaikuntha and with the smell of that tulsi and the feet of Krishna, they immediately became the
Pure devotee.
So, like they were not usually the devotee of Krishna.
Yes, so they were Brahman realized people. Okay, so the yogis, the people who are Dhyana yogis, okay, so or the Mayavadis which we call them. So for them, what is the ultimate goal? To merge in the Brahman effulgence, right? So they had that kind of, they were not aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had a form actually, okay. So only after seeing Lord Vishnu, and then when they took the smell of that tulsi leaves coming, they became pure devotees of Lord. That Mayavad concept was actually gone from their heads, and then they became the devotees. That means they started worshipping the form of the Lord. So any confusion, Prabhu? You'll still look confused. Please go ahead.
So after seeing Lord Krishna, they realized that they have what the actual constitution of their heart.
No, so Lord has Sachidananda Vigraha, okay, that his body is spiritual, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss, okay. So the people who are Brahmajyoti realized, or the Mayavadis basically, who want to merge in the effulgence, Brahman effulgence of Lord Sri Krishna, they do not know that Lord has a form, basically. They think that Lord is formless, Supreme Personality is formless. That was a concept of these 4 Kumaras at that time, before they went to Vaikuntha. Once they went to Vaikuntha, this confusion was gone, and then they understood that okay, the Supreme Absolute Truth also has a form, and that form is Sachidananda Vigraha. And then they became the pure devotees. Right? Anyone else?
Any more questions?
Any more questions? Any realizations also, please feel free to share. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, not related to this particular session, but in general I have one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
For the newcomers, like any XYZ person who comes to this con and they're not initially Krishna conscious, and say just for 1 week, the Krishna consciousness, and post that suppose they leave the body, but for the 1 week they have chanted 16 rounds, and at the time of death they think about Krishna.
They will go back home, back to Krishna, no doubt about that.
Okay, so in that case it doesn't matter whether their unmanifested karma comes into picture.
If they are chanting 16 rounds and if they are able to remember Krishna at the time of death, Krishna himself confirms in the Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra sanchaya. He who remembers me at the time of death, O Arjuna, attains my form, and of this there is no doubt.
So that doesn't matter whether the devotion for chanting is just for 1 week.
It will not. If they are able to remember Krishna at the time of death, which is very, very difficult, Mataji. After 1 week you cannot remember. That's a very difficult thing. Unless you have special mercy of a pure devotee or special mercy of Krishna himself, it's very difficult to remember Krishna at the time of death. Even practicing devotees face a lot of challenges, towards the end of their lives, before quitting the body. So what to speak of people who have just spent 1 week in Krishna consciousness? Yes, he may be getting a very good life. Maybe if he is not able to remember Krishna at the time of death, then he will immediately be getting a human form. He will be born in a devotee family, so that he will continue from where he had left off. Okay, but if he has remembered Krishna at the time of death, then straight away back to Godhead. No stopping that. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I also have a question.
Yes,
Not directly related to the
No problem, sir.
class, but related to the brother of one of the characters that was
Yes.
given in the-
Yes.
So now we say that it is said that when somebody
Stop.
needs to
Stop this. Yes, just continue.